What's up, YouTube? This is now day 11:30 of this challenge, and I just got off of work. I just hot swapped my clothes real quick right here in the middle of this parking lot. If you all can see that right here on the naval base. Yes, I just got naked in order to change my clothes. But the purpose of this challenge is running a mile every night to show you all that I'm doing the things that you don't want to do. Now that it's currently 12, I'm waiting on the wife. I'm going to sit in my car on my phone, and I'm waiting on my wife to get off because she has to park her truck on the naval base due to the fact that my apartment complex is so shitty that they only assign one parking spot here in San Diego, and there's no additional parking spots that you can buy, and parking on the street costs money for some reason. That's one of the many reasons why I'm not the biggest fan of San Diego. But purpose of this video, doing the things that you don't want to do, training discipline and building purpose. I was thinking to myself, certain things in this world do not make sense. Certain things, certain people that we make famous, certain things are inventions that we kind of just play into. Remember the Haktua girl? Remember she got famous? Don't know what happened to her. One hit wonder, probably. I know that she started creating a podcast. Like, that's great. I'm proud of her. Like, good for her. She was out one night. She got documented, recorded, made her money, and her life changed. And you never know when your life could change or be taken away from you. For example, the Charlie Kirk thing, it just happened a couple of days ago. The girl just got stabbed working at the pizza parlor, the Ukrainian girl. You really have to be aware of your situation and then your surroundings during these times. America isn't a safe place. It's safer than generally relatively other countries, but it's not as safe should make it out to be. But when I speak of these people who become famous, one product that's really stuck out to me, Scrub Daddy, Scrub Mommy. How is it that God knows how long a sponge has been around and been used? How is it even possible? Like, were they playing a joke when they put a smiley face in a sponge and made millions of dollars off of it? I believe it even appeared on Shark Tank or something like that as well. I'm not angry. I don't have resentment. I'm flabbergasted. I'm amazed. Like, teach me the ways. They're marketing geniuses, and I don't even know if they really meant to be. That's what but yeah, the things that we have to understand, us together as society as a whole, us as a human population, a human race, we are what controls everything. We give power to everything. For example, money. Who gives power to money? It's not the government. It's the people who work under the social system, which is us, right? We're the citizens of America. We get our money, and then we buy food and housing with that money. So what does that make us technically? Slaves. But we can't call it slavery because it's a lot harder to force people to do something and tell them you're slaves, like you're going to do this and that, and I'm going to provide free housing and free clothing and free bedding and et cetera, free food, but not pay you nothing, and you're just going to do this hard labor. So instead, it's wage slavery. They give you a little bit of change, this currency, which wouldn't even hold power or control if us as humans selectively didn't make it. We control everything that happens in this world. Wars, who controls that? Us. The only thing we can't control is natural disasters and et cetera, things that happen with the earth. But what I'm trying to get to, the prime example, is power, money, control, the house you want, the car you want. Everything is dictated by your own mind itself. What is the biggest problem that people have in this world? They don't know how to control their mind. They let their emotions get the best of them. They let their emotions run and dictate and control everything and every aspect of their life. And it ruins them in all realms and possibilities of anything possibly going their way. They constantly make mistakes. They don't use mistakes as learning experiences. They use mistakes, and then they get ego, arrogant, and self-driven motives in which they end up making those same mistakes, and it costs them. It costs them a life full of gratitude, a life full of knowledge, a life full of actually pursuing a bigger purpose, having fulfillment, feeling purposeful, and protecting and providing for your family. Now, I'm going to tell you something, man. This 9-to-5 wage slavery that I speak of in all of my videos, really sit there and analyze what you were born into. And this is being an American citizen. Think about it. Like, America's free. America's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to go against America, but anyways, but really sit there and think about how a systematic government controls or affects your life. If you sit there, you think, okay, I was born, my parents worked for money, we grew up in this house, maybe we were middle class, lower class, poor, whatever the case may be. Money determined everything. If I needed to have schools or have clothes for school, if I needed food on the table, if I needed diapers, if I needed milk from a very young age, if I needed my video games, if I wanted video games, I had to wait till Christmas or I had to wait till my birthday. I didn't just get what I wanted. I always had to wait, and it was all based off my parents' money. Didn't think about what you become. You grow older, you turn 18, now you're faced with a decision. Do you get a job, skip college? Do you go to the military, skip college? Or do you, 3, go to college? Most of the time it's college or the military. The military is good because it gives you stepping stones. You get to save your money. You get that college experience. But what do you give? You give your whole life at 18. Can't drink alcohol. Can't smoke cigarettes. Can't do things that harm your body, but you're giving your body away with a contract. That is a double standard that needs to be reversed. But yeah, you either do the military or you go to college. Okay, cool. Most people only go to college without knowing or knowing what they're pursuing. They go into massive loads of debt, and then after college, they have trouble finding a job because this economy and the job market is very hard to find jobs in, and the economy is just extremely expensive, and inflation, we can't keep up with it. These jobs cannot keep up with the inflation. I'm just going to say that. So you're not going to get paid enough. And on top of that, you have $100,000 in student loans that you're trying to pay off monthly. So it's ridiculous. And I speak of this because I need you all to understand, I'm all for the bettering of people. If I can inspire and motivate, cool. I don't believe in motivation. I believe in discipline. But if I can at least teach some of, if not all of you, the ways of life. Yeah, I'm a 24-year-old, you should say kid, young man, whatever you want to say. But I'm educated. I've dealt with life experience. I've been to multiple different countries. I've been on a deployment in 2023 where there was a war literally between Israel and Hamas, and I was in the middle of it. So if you think that I haven't grown up, I have a wife. If you think I haven't lived on the struggles, I went from sleeping on floors, sleeping on the decks of a ship, being stuck on a ship in prison for months at a time, to here I am now, teaching and instructing. If you think that I have not had life experience, I've seen so many people, met so many different cultures. I'm telling you right now, and at 24, I've seen a lot more than 99% of y'all will see by the time y'all are 60, 70 on y'all's deathbeds. And I'm trying to preach this. Saving your money is the biggest thing that you can do. The government wants to enslave you by buying those houses. If you're going to buy a house, make sure you're getting a good interest rate. Make sure you have a good down payment, and make sure that you're buying that house not to stay in, but to flip it. And make sure that you're buying it young, because think about from 20 to 50, a 30-year mortgage. You're telling me you got to keep a job for 30 years and pay this house, and you're stuck to one place? Does that sound like freedom to you? Does that sound like you're free to travel? Whereas opposed to if something happens, because you don't know what's going to happen in 30 years. You don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. So you want to buy a house and get stuck to that? No, you want to go off and do better things with your life. And then I say that with everything in life, man. Like, you got to understand, the system wants you to buy that house. They want you to buy cars. For us military members, they really want us to have cars. They give loans out like it's candy. And why are they doing that? Because it controls your money and it controls your decision making. Why do people stay in their jobs most of the time? Because they have bills, and you have to pay bills. Otherwise, you don't eat. If you have a family, your family doesn't eat, and then so on and so on. And then out of however much money you make, you may save a little bit of money a month. You may save $500 a month on the high end, maybe $1,000, $2,000, but that's only $20K a year. If you save up, what, $1,500 a month? Like, $1,500 a month is $20K a year. Think about that in your head. There's people out here on YouTube, social media, Think about celebrities. Think about all the famous people you know, NFL, NBA, MLB, etc., making millions. Millions. There's so much money in this world. There's so much money you couldn't even comprehend in your mind. How fast this money revolves and goes around. And you're out here working for $10 an hour on some minimum wage bullshit. And you think that you're not as capable or as competent as these human beings, as I mentioned earlier in this video. You think you could have never thought about putting a smiley face on a sponge? You're insecure. You're not confident in yourself. You don't believe in yourself. That's why these other people don't believe in you. That's why you don't have anything in life. You just want that instant dopamine. You don't believe in delayed gratification. You'll look to external sources to solve your internal problems, such as alcohol, smoking weed, doing drugs, nicotine, multiple different factors, multiple different things. You don't actually care. You don't actually want to be rich. You don't actually want to be successful, because if you did, there'd be a fire burning inside of you, eating you alive every day. You wouldn't be able to sleep. You'd have insomnia. You would be so sick. And you are going to be. You know that? Because everything this 24-year-old me is saying to you right now, you may not believe it. The hardest part about being right is that most people don't believe it until it's too late. So by me expressing this all to you, you don't realize how right that I actually am. And I am so right that I guarantee you, if you follow my videos, you follow my path, you listen to my advice, you save your money, you invest that money in smart things. I think it's good to have, like S&P 500. It's good to invest your money into that, because statistically since the 1920s, it's had like a 10% annual increase. Perfect. You should invest your money. I also believe in high risk, but that's me. So I like to play around with other stocks. I like to gamble here and there. I like to do multiple different things with my money. But if you play your cards right, you're guaranteed a millionaire. And that's where the low risk comes in. So saving your money, that's the low risk, right? Having an emergency fund, the low risk. Having that investments or Roth IRAs or certificates in which you save pretty much all of your money in that you have on the side. Budgeting is major. Don't go wasting your money. Don't go and live above your means just because of the job that you have at that time. I can look at my parents, for example. My mom's, we grew up nothing, man, poor. But my mom's had good jobs at certain times. My dad's had the same steady job, making $3K a month, whatever. Good enough to protect, provide. He's a good man, you know. But look at them now. My dad is in his late 50s, health complications, and he's still getting up every day going to work. My mom divorced him, and she lost her job. But guess what she got? A brand new truck 5 years ago because she had a good paying job. What I'm trying to say is you never know what's going to happen, and you need these backup plans. But what I'm also saying is with these backup plans, you also want to take all the risk in life. You don't want to live with regret. My parents have nothing. If it wasn't for my dad being able to go to work, and he literally texts me almost every other day talking about how he's dying. Do you know what type of heartbreak, like what type of detrimental effects that has on somebody? And I can't do nothing about it financially. I have my own life, my own family to do things for. So I can't go and pay attention to that. I'm a man. I take responsibility. I have to do what I have to do, right? I have my own life to live. But I don't want y'all to end up in the same position, because so many children, so many teenagers are misguided. These fitness influencers, social media influencers, the things that they talk about, building businesses, bragging about their businesses, are they really teaching you any valuable lessons? Are they really giving you knowledge? Or are they kind of just beating around the bush? Are they giving you a step-by-step plan on how to become rich or successful? I'm going to say sincerely, most likely not. The fitness influencers, they're promoting steroids. They're telling you to stick these needles in your arm. Look at Togi. Y'all find that entertaining? It's entertaining. Don't get me wrong. I like Togi. I'm not against it, but on a mass scale of influence, Togi is not necessarily good when it comes to guiding children, but he never claimed to be, so that's fine, right? He's strictly entertainment. But I'll tell you what, man. This camera's getting hard to hold. It's 15 minutes of fingers are shaking. But yeah, Alice Eubank, guy puts God first, etc., etc. Insecure, can't control his mind, can't control his emotions, starts sticking a needle in his arm. When he already had, out of everybody in this world, like, look at my physique. Out of everybody in this world, his physique was way better than mine. And he still chose to stick a needle in his arm. And now everybody that's ever followed him thinks that he's a hypocrite because he always said that that's something that he would never do. You have to understand, man, the social pressures, the social anxiety, everything in this world is constantly beaming down on you. This world is full of nothing but competition. And if you aren't willing to compete, if you want to compete naturally, good. You're going to be a loser. You're going to lose. Sometimes you have to do the illegal. Doing the things the legal way isn't always the answer, because this world is a dog-eat-dog world. As much as I don't like to say it, that's the harsh reality. And unless you start networking, experiencing life, going with other people, I think the biggest problem is that people stay secluded to the hometown that they grew up in. They don't go out and travel. They don't go out and explore other states. They never lived in other states. And that keeps you constrained in your own mind and your own beliefs and your own opinions, because all you've ever known is home. You need to get comfortable with doing the uncomfortable, going out and actually doing something with your life. And this is going to be my speed. The only thing you're going to see after the end of this video is my run. That's it. You're going to see a little clip of my run. I don't see the point in documenting my whole 1 mile run, because the whole purpose of this journey, the whole purpose of these videos was never for that. It was never about any of that. The whole purpose was doing the things you don't want to do and being comfortable with doing the uncomfortable. That's what it was. Training, discipline, purpose. You train, regardless, financially, mentally, whatever problem you have going on in your life. Train, outwork it, outwork the problem. Find where the problem is coming from. Find a solution, take action, because sitting there complaining and making excuses is going to end up with nothing. You're not going to go nowhere, and you're going to be a nobody in life. So it's time to take action, and the quicker you do, the better, because time is working against you. It's not your friend, it's your biggest enemy, and time will take you away, because you never know, as said multiple times, when that day may be that you die. You never know when the next tragedy in your family may be. You never know what's going to happen to your kids. You never know what's going to happen to you. You never know what's going to happen to your wife or husband. So it's important to constantly train. What happens if your wife gets attacked? You want to be strong. You want to be muscular. You want to be able to defend that woman. And a lot of y'all are going to be like, oh, gun, et cetera, et cetera. Like, okay, then go to the shooting range. Learn how to work that gun. Learn the basic foundation. Build yourself up, man. Your mind can contain so much knowledge. It can hold and comprehend so many different levels of knowledge that most of us just pass up because we're too lazy being consumers instead of producers in this world. You need to be a producer. In this one life, you need to be. And the reason why I highly encourage this is because I believe that there's a good in everyone, and something great can come out of everyone. So I want as many people as possible motivated and inspired to actually do something with their lives, because you never know. You could be the next Albert Einstein. You could be the next Elon Musk. You could be whatever you set your mind to be. Manifest whatever it is that you want in life. And I guarantee you, if you try your best, and I mean really try your hardest towards something, if you fail, that was on you. It was on you. Like, I don't know how to express that enough. I've never seen somebody try. Never in my life. I've been surrounded by however many people. I've never seen somebody try 100% in my life. If somebody wanted to be an NFL player, I've never seen them train multiple hours a day. Day and night, waking up early, doing whatever it takes. I've never seen that. I've never seen hard work and grit. You know who I've seen that from? Myself. I put in multiple sessions of hard work, multiple times of training over my last 6 years of working out, multiple sessions of talking and emotionally intelligence and understanding human psychology, multiple conversations, the hard ones, the easy ones, with multiple different people, multiple conversation with my wife. You know, my wife, when I first met her, I had to watch this woman break down in my arms because her grandma died. And then a month later, she found out her mom had cancer. These are the hardships in life that you find out. And then I find out my dad's dying. I find out that my mom is depressed. Like, she's depressed. I lost my sister 2 years ago while I was on deployment. in the middle of a war. And my mom's over here crying, taking pills to try to make her happy. I don't believe in that. I don't believe that you need pills. I think that you need a strong mind. I think that you need discipline. I think that you need purpose. I think you need to find a reason to live, because stuff like that makes me stoic. It fires me up. It adds more fuel to the fire to be famous, to be successful, to be rich, to have that house that I want. Because the way I look at it, if some tragedy happens, good. It was meant to be. And I'm not going to sit here, make excuses, be depressed, sit around and make it worse on myself. I'm going to go up and do something about it. If something were ever to happen to my family, you know what I would do? I wouldn't sit there moping. Would I be sad? Yes. But I'm going to work regardless, because real men work. There's a bigger purpose. There's a bigger journey. I need to be stoic. I need to be the strong one. I need to be that rock, that support. And you need more men like us. You need men like me to run this world, to do certain things. And certain individuals are, I understand, born designed to lose. But people like me, I can't sit there and let that happen. It's just not in me, and it never has been. I've always been a winner. And I know that over time, even with these YouTube videos, I will post a YouTube video every single day for the rest of my life in hopes that it even reaches 1,000 views, 10,000 views. What'll ever happen? Who knows, man? Who knows? But I tell you what, this is me. This is who I am, and nobody can change who I am. I am Ethan de Villiers, and I carry that with great admiration. I carry my last name until the day that I die. I've given my last name away to my wife, and I really mean what I say. I could be upfront with you right now. I was very athletic. I was very good at basketball. Never was going to make it 5'10", white. No matter if I had a 30-plus inch vertical, no matter if I could run a 4.5 in high school, no matter how good I could shoot, no matter how good I could dribble, the likelihood of me making the NBA is so rare that I simply just did not have enough discipline, grit, and hard work, or even talent to do so. And I was insecure, and closed mouths don't get fed, and my mouth was very closed when I was a teenager because I had no confidence. I was a very introverted kid, but not no more. I'm here to speak. I'm here to talk. I'm here to tell you, because being introverted actually made me realize that it was the greatest thing that could have ever happened to me, the greatest gift that I could have ever been born with. Because most of the people out here, the things they talk about that are meaningless, they're going around hanging out with women, going around partying, going around spending their money on dumb things, having threesome. Like, the stuff that you hear people do is sickening, and they just lack education. They lack IQ. Their IQ level has to be below a 70. It has to be. Most people that you meet, they talk like Togi. And that's not a diss on Togi. I think Togi is emotionally more intelligent than what he shows in his videos. But most people, they just live their life without any consequence, without any direction, without any guidance. That's the problem. That's the problem. These people grow up in broken households. That's another problem. No mom, no dad. Problem. You can't be a man and grow up without a father figure and have your mom try to teach you how to be a man based off of what she believes or what she thinks. In what realm, in what world is that ever possible? Same thing, vice versa. I think the best thing for a kid is to have both parents. You need that. You need that mother, and you need a strong father. And that's why marriage is the most beautiful thing that could ever happen. No human wants to be lonely, regardless of what they say. Love is the most beautiful thing, and love teaches you hardship. It teaches you struggles. It teaches you sacrifices. It shows you what you're willing to do, what you're capable of, and what you would do for somebody that you love. Because me as a man, I've given everything financially, mentally, to my wife. And here I am still making these videos, because now that I've gotten all that sorted out, we're good, we're cruising. Now it's my time to give out to the world. And I figured, I always told myself I won't make YouTube videos till I'm older and blah, 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 and I won't do this or I won't do that. Procrastination's a killer, man. Procrastination costs you more than anything you ever bought in your whole life. It's time to start now. Stop thinking about it, man. Don't matter about the quality. It's quantity over quality. Look at me. I'm recording in my car, giving out this amazing speech that most people will probably never see or hear in their life. And here we are, man. Still grinding, still working. I'm sweating to death in here, waiting for my wife still. Remember, it's 12:22 now, and this video is 25 minutes long, and I'm still waiting on my wife. while recording this video, man. But don't think, look at my arm, man. I love that. I love that about a man. I love masculinity, and this world is just taking it away. But I love whenever I see, and this is not to be homophobe or homosexual by any means, I actually like seeing when I see another man hardworking. I like seeing a man built like with muscle, seeing them strong. I like seeing hard work. And the same thing goes with females. I like seeing that when I go to the gym. I like seeing people that actually put effort into themselves, into their body, because it shows one thing. One thing all gym goers have is that they care. And that's a big, big step in the right direction, is care. Because with care comes responsibility. And when you care, you're responsible for your health. And once you're responsible for your own health, they go back to the care aspect again. Now that your health is good, now that you're built, now you have to care about other things. That's where those relationships come in. That's where that love comes in. Once you master all of that, you'll start to understand life is what you make it. You'll be what you're destined to be based off of how hard you're willing to work towards that destiny. There's two different realities for you. There's the lazy one who didn't even make it to the end of this video because you're strictly a loser. And then there's the ambitious one, the stoic one, the one who made it to the end of this video and was like, you know what? This guy's right. This random white dude on the internet, 24 years old, with the knowledge of a 70-year-old prophet, he's right. And if I don't start making changes now, I don't think that I ever will. So thank you all for coming to my speech, my rant, whatever you wanted this be deemed as. I just know that this video is not going to get that many views. But if you like this, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.